Hi guys, welcome to Rise Up Be Me. It's a channel where I speak about transformation because one of the great things that I do believe is that we are not human beings. In fact, we are Be Me beings and we have a far greater intelligence than you can ever imagine. I think the trick is this. I think the trick is actually being a human being. But I believe what happened to me has happened to you. Many will go through it, many won't go through it. See, this is the difference. Speaking to somebody that has been through the journey of understanding what does awaken mean, what does transformation mean, can it actually happen? Can you discover your true self? Can you understand your soul? Can you awaken to the beauty of life? Because to me, beauty seems to be the word that's missing. I spoke to somebody a couple of days ago who had a great chat. And it was about receiving messages and it was about connecting to the higher self. I don't know how many of you that watch me have had mystical experiences. Mystical experiences are bloody weird. And the reason why they're called mystical is because you'll never seem to get the answer to why you had the mystical experience. I thought that was a bit unfair, that you would see the light. How many of you have witnessed and seen the light? A lot of you won't know what I'm talking about. Maybe some of you will understand what I'm talking about. When you see a mystical experience or you experience a mystical experience, you want more. If you see a ghost maybe and you're interested in seeing spirit, maybe you want to see more spirit. I know I did. You always want more. This is the thing. Once is never enough. You always want more. After having so many mystical experiences, it leaves you in a place of confusion. And it's not a great place because you're being shown something that you've never experienced before. So how can you explain it? And the more you seem to try and explain it to somebody, they just look at you as if you're cranky. So in the end, you give up trying to explain your mystical journey, your mystical spirits that were coming to you at night or wherever you saw them. Some weird things can happen. They are strange. But here's what I want you to do. You know when you look at your material journey within your mind, yeah, you do, you can see how your chapters of life have gone from A to B, right? You can see who said what, when and how. You can see who hurt you and how you fell in love and how you got married and how you had children. You know, you can see the journey. You can look at that journey in a very emotional way. You can look at it in a loving way and a romantic way. You can look at that journey as being a bit of a struggle. There are many forms, there's many ways to be able to read your story. So spirituality is always about trying to read it from a spiritual standpoint so that maybe you find answers spiritually to the reasons why you're going through what you're going through or why you broke up with somebody. It seems like life throws you a lot of pain. So in the awakening, you're trying to understand the answers to these mystical visions that drove you mad. You're crazy. You may go to the doctors and I'll tell you now, they will not have the answers for your mystical visions. Here's what I want you to do about them visions. Do you remember when you was a kid, you got one of them projectors? I hope you did. It might be iPhones now, but I mean, when I was a kid, there was these projectors that you could get that you put these slide pictures through. I think it was like a little Mickey Mouse one, if you like. And I've always remembered it as a child. And you could shine it on the wall. So it was a little toy projector. When you get mystical visions, Do you not find it's like a projection in your mind? You may see it on the outside of yourself, but you get most of them inside of you. They may flick through your consciousness and you think, what on earth is going on? It is a great exercise because I believe the mystical journey is more real than the human journey. That's a big one, isn't it? If it wasn't for my mystical journey, I wouldn't have developed and understood that I was going to be the man that was going to change the identity of who you are as a human being in just 3 letters, 2 words, 1 meaning. Be me. The meaning of life is to be you, as is the meaning of life to be me, is to be me. But what is the real you? We all want answers to the questions. So I spoke with this guy. And it's amazing when you get these mystical experiences, how they go over your head, because you class yourself as it's just a crazy moment. Maybe it was just something happening. Maybe I saw something on TV. Maybe I just had a bad nightmare or a bad dream. Go through your life. When you get a true mystical experience or a feeling or a vision, have you discovered that you never forget it? But you can forget what you did yesterday. You can forget what you went downstairs for to get. Yeah? But all of your mystical experiences, I'll guarantee you, you know every part of that detail because it was imprinted into your mind for you to never forget. So how many did you see? When you watch a film is a series of stills run at a certain speed. That speed is 24 frames per second. So that's quite a lot of frames to keep a movie rolling. I want you to do that within your mind tonight. I want you to look at all the separate times you had a mystical experience. Maybe one when you were 7, maybe one when you was 10, maybe one when you was 20, maybe one when you got married, maybe one when one of your parents died. They're scattered, aren't they? All over the place. There's no story behind them. I want you to start to learn to run it like a movie. And what you do, you take either the dream or the vision or the experience, and it's captured like a frame in a camera. Click. That's all it took. Just click to capture an image. But this is what I did. Probably being a photographer, that was probably why I was a photographer, to be able to piece the story together. And when I mean piece, I mean piece together. So you take this vision, you take that vision, and you click it together. You then take that vision, and you take that experience, you take that mystical moment, and you click it, and you click it, and you click it, and you click it together. You know when you've got a roll of film with all the negatives, you put that in the projector, you roll the movie, and then the film projects itself onto the screen. Well, your mind is the screen. Put as many of these as you can, remembering what was the first one and what was your last one. It will take you a little bit of practice to remember all the mystical experiences. Probably do it when you're in bed ready to go asleep. It's a good time to do that. Run the movie. Click, 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 click. See what it says. See what the movie is trying to tell you. Because going back to the conversation that I had, he was seeing visions. speaking to me, we was able to click them all together to make the story. So it got to the point where you'd have these mystical experiences, but you were still looking for more mystical experiences. So I had to rewind the film, as you would, because you've missed the part in the film, right? So you rewind the film. Let's have a look at that again. Rewind the film, and let's really have a look at what's gone on. Having the knowledge and the intelligence from the world of spirit to be able to connect it together, that's called editing. Every film has to be edited. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to edit your movie and put all of your mystical experiences together and play the film. See what you get. I can't get an answer from you on this video, but it'd be interesting because there is the story. And through understanding that within my own story, it took a long time to be able to piece together the code. There was a bit here, there was a bit there, there was a bit over there, there was a bit there. It was all over the place. But once I started putting it together, I could see the plan. I could see the story. And once I knew the truth of that story, I then switched from my normal life, which I thought was real, into the mystical journey, which I thought wasn't real. But the mystical journey became more real. And so therefore, in the beginning, I was stepping between the two stories, the narratives. And then all of a sudden, click, this one became the real story. And that's why I believe that you are not a human being. I think human being is the wrong narrative. As a spiritual beamy being that came to the planet to do something, to be able to transform away from being a human being and to discover that there is another you, your spirit self, that to me is be me. So be me gives you the steps to discover who you truly are, because I'm telling you, the human story is false. And your mystical experiences are massive messages that you have doubted. Understanding why you doubted them is easy to explain. That's the human side of you telling you that you're crazy. But I'm here to tell you, you're not crazy. So tonight, piece it all together, reread the story, sit back and watch the movie. My name is Trevor, and I'll see you on the other side. Take care.